G'day Lancini crew from summertime in California. Hello from on location Westfield Century City. God knows what I'm doing Westfield, but I'm doing a Lancini shopping centre. But I mean, I was always inspired as a kid growing up with Indooroopilly Shopping Town. In fact, my first job at 14 years of age was doing the Christmas lights, doing wiring at 14, you can imagine this day and age. Because it was such a magic place as a kid with the fountain and the centre stage. And that was a classic way of how to destroy a shopping centre. They made it so confusing. Pulling out the fountain and the space in the centre stage ripped the soul out of that shopping centre. I think what I'm trying to say, you're a family business and you put a lot of love into things. And I know I've been driving you mad, changing everything from the paint to the plants and everything like that. But I kind of figured if we're starting from scratch with a lot of this stuff, it's going to cost us no more to actually do it right and paint it right and put the right plants in than coming back and doing it. I thought I'd send you this video because it's the first time I've actually had some sleep in I think about 2 months. I've been turning up to site and doing videos on about 2 hours sleep. So I basically got to the airport, went unconscious from Brisbane to Sydney to Los Angeles. So I'm feeling a bit human. I've just sat down. I've gone through all the videos and I've edited these all together. There is a video about the Burpengary shopping centre at the tail end of this. And I've tried to put as much reference in there with what I'm talking about. I'm stoked you're going with the water feature. I know that seems like a real headache and a weird thing to bring back. They're things that people loved. And I can tell you in these places, Westfield and the companies are really smashing it out of the ground. The guy who's got the Grove just up the road here, he gets wet, the company that does the fountains at Bellagio to do his fountains. He spends a fortune, but he gets it. That mall is absolutely packed. And then when Christmas time comes along, God knows what I know they spent 1.2 million on Christmas. That was a few years ago. But I mean, you want it to be an enjoyable experience. So many people, you go to the shops now, so many of these malls, you just turn up, people just look unhappy. They're just like, oh, it's just ticking boxes, go and then get the milk, grab the groceries. It's not fun. It's not hard to make Burpengary East really fun. The element of bringing the water back, there are so many points where kids love water, humans love water. They are drawn to it. It needs to soften the space. I know, granted, I'm here in 90210 and Beverly Hills is across the road, but there ain't nothing much attractive about Burpengary East out the front. It's traffic lights, it's diesel, it's fumes, it's highways. People want an escape. So simply having that water there is going to soften the sounds. I have particularly had that Indooroopilly Shopping Town throwback because I've always loved that look. That and also that design is also great for sound. It's got this beautiful sound of falling water. You need to knock out all that diesel and stuff. The sound of water. You've also got a McDonald's there. I flipped burgers at McDonald's at Westfield Indooroopilly Shopping Town, then went to making their TV commercials, and now we do the lights for McDonald's over here. They're great for you guys, and hopefully you're just building it, leasing it out to them. But the other tenants in centres hate the McDonald's. It's always a pet hate because it's an easy option. The drive-through's just there. They always just feel it sucks the business out. The drive-through, the way I've kind of generally the layout will be, they're quite loud. So one of the reasons why I've lifted that fountain up, I've got the ball, which is going to have a lot of things. I've raised it up, number one, to keep it out for vandalism, but I've got cascades falling almost a metre, over a metre into the pool below. The sound of that water is going to drown out the drive-through because we don't want to hear yep, would you like fries with that? Yeah, it kind of destroys the whole ambience. The whole ambience. And it's also refreshing. You've got to understand, it is Brisbane. It is generally hot. You go to that Costco down the road, you just want to, God, kill me now. It's like walking through the Sahara, and so depressing. They're like every other cookie cutter Costco. There is no love in them. you're a family business that doing these things from scratch. If you put things, and these are all probably small changes, but they are small changes. The big thing of the cost of a shopping centre, but putting the plantings in, softening up, like what these guys, and of course, not one palm tree. These are normally lit just how we like them, with a slithering light up there. You think there's one palm tree working at Century City I could have done this video from? Yeah, Heath, Williamson, CBS News, Los Angeles. Putting all those plantings in there really, it just adds millions to the look of the place. You'll see at the end of the video where I only just got to look at that plan of the playground at thing. I was half asleep, so I've tried to add photos to it. This is a really cool spot. I know it's a small shopping centre, and I know a lot of the reference you're putting in there going, why the hell is he putting Westfield, Indooroopilly Shopping Town in the 80s and all of that kind of stuff? It's a much smaller centre. But the love is still the same. The good energy, the movement, the colour, that fountain alone, not only the sound, when the sun sets, you get beautiful sunsets, as we know out of the back of that shopping centre. That fountain, I will have all underwater light. So that fountain will go in all sunset colours, reds, ambers, deep blues. That will reflect all over the ceiling. It will dance all over the ceiling. It's going to be fun and romantic. Kids will love it. Adults will love it. Which leads me to my next thing, the playground. Everything else is going to look pretty fandango with plants and fountains and everything like that. I'd be lying to say, yeah, it looks great. Guys, it looks like a state government kindergarten, those springs in the middle. The way they've laid it out, and I understand why they've done it, because you've got metal poles everywhere. You've got to have kids away because they're going to split their heads open. Let's do it much cleverly. You don't need to turn that whole thing into an ugly state government looking kindergarten. That's what parents are trying to escape. They're at the park and all that stuff. Make it fun. That spring thing you don't need. Put a beautiful stage there underneath the fountain. Kids climb all over the stage. Kids love stages. Kids love fountains. I've designed it that either side of the stage is a cascade that the kids could just go and touch, because it's just going to pour into a drain gill. It doesn't matter if the kids touch it. It's almost interactive and fun. Do the playground fun. You've got all these big metal poles. Do them high like in New Farm Park, and I've put some reference in there of those playgrounds. Build it into the actual poles so you don't have to have these huge gaps. So once you've got the stage there, then you can have all the kids stuff. It doesn't feel so much like a prison kindergarten as such. You've got all these cool restaurants with plants, and there's going to be lanterns and stuff. Make it not only cool for the kids but for the adults. This is roll to a commercial break. Hopefully that all makes sense. It's Saturday night here in LA. I'm literally just going up to see some mates in Malibu. Then I'm driving up to Reno on Sunday, so I'll be still on air and on comms this week, but then I go off to Burning Man, and then I just disappear into the ether. There is no comms, thank God, out there for a week and a half. But hopefully this makes a bit of sense, and more than anything else, and Thomas, that's a present, that weird looking round fountain. I genuinely mean that. I really enjoy these jobs where you've got, especially when they're family companies, where there's still a passion and people listen to the ideas and stuff. I don't want to even do all these bloody Divine or Lend Lease shopping. They just don't care that you go into meetings. So that's it. Prezi for going with some of the mad ideas. I've just got to make it all look good for you now. So I think Dan's got thing. There is another video additional to this long one, which is probably about half an hour to 45 minutes long. It's all just the logistical stuff. It's the things like the warm glow. You can just see, like, even Westfield here, you can see that's all. You won't notice things, but they backlight all the glass. It's all the things like I'm talking about for that whole strip around the food court area to make that stand out. So the second video is all just logistical stuff, plantings, as well as a lot of quoting stuff and numbers for our Firefly crew that can at least start making sure we've got the gear in place. This is kind of a special job. This is almost like it's almost like a film job. We've got, I mean, lucky with Firefly, we've got 2 massive warehouses full of all stuff, an eagle farm. So there will be stuff that may not work that I will pull out or we may add. So we will just be dressing this once it's all kind of getting close down to the mark, and when it's open, we may need some more festoons there, or we may need to throw some light up a palm tree there, etc. Oh, well, I'll stop rambling. Roll to the Tuesday, a few days ago, from Burpengary Central, night from Los Angeles.
And Indooroopilly, the greatest shopping centre of them all.
G'day, Thomas from Burpengary. Your present, we're still working out whether it will actually work or not here. But I had recreated a small version. It's kind of a bit like a tennis ball as such, but it's the same classic Indooroopilly shopping town on a much smaller version that will so it just literally be somewhere over the back there, out of reach, and then it would be up high. Spilling into a pool down below. Okay, all fountain. Can you stick it back up there for a sec, Ryan? We're just losing lights. I'm just trying to shoot this best as possible. The ground floor will be there. Where that is will be all raised in cinder block. So that's actually up high, so it keeps it away from the grubs. It will then spill into this top section here. This will be blocked out, so this will all be running water. There'll be a copper chute here. It spills out literally into one of those square, big, deep drains you can literally get from Bunnings. This pole, so you literally then this becomes a garden. So the water recirculates and pours into there. It will go through a pipe here. There'll be a main pool that goes at the bottom of this large square raised section that Ryan's taking. So this will all pour into this area, and then it will cascade into the lower pool that goes out here. So it cascades out this side, and the pump will have a door into this section here that'll be planted out that you won't see it. So all the services and pumps and everything will be inside just behind this door. So it will just service itself. Kids love water features, etc., etc. So it's almost like a playground, being able to see it. So water feature that we've been talking about. So the top of the existing Bessa blocks that's there now, we'd have a lower pool, which would be just one of those 600 by 600 drains. Same with here, with just a metal sluice just out the side that pours into there. Then we'd raise 2 more Bessa blocks up for the actual main feature fountain. Now this keeps the fountain and all the lights and everything out of the reach of all the grubs. There'll be 3 metal sluice, so the water pours into that low area. And then this very lower pool, there's 3 metal sluices there, water outlets, and then another 3 there. So there's 6 there that are pouring from a height into that lower pool. This is the lower pool, then that's the medium height, and then this is the tall square section, which has got the feature fountain, which this is one we had prepared earlier. In the back of the truck, so it's almost like a big tennis ball as such. So that's like a big dandelion, and then we'd have all coloured lights underneath that. Not trashy coloured lights, all sunset colours like reds. It'll be red or amber and blue that will change colour. So it'll be beautiful sunset colours that will splash all over the ceiling. Now this line of sight, bringing it up to this height, you can see it all the way from the traffic lights all the way through. You can see it from all areas of the shopping centre. It's right under that roof line. It's almost like the centre was designed to have a big water feature over that point. And in McDonald's, you can see through it, but it'll just bring a wonderful feeling to the space. And I just have that curved out raised platform for the stage so the kids can actually get up here and stand. We can put a big Christmas tree that we can just screw down to the floor each year and just plug into all the low voltage stuff. So that's activated your Christmas. You can have a Santa there. It will not work having a guy on a guitar in the it's like the worst energy flow as you walk past people. You need to have an area away from people tripping over cables and everything like that. So this can be public access, but then when you've got a stage or something going on there, you can have someone up there, and we've got all the power points underneath there that can just run into everything. There'll be underwater lights, all of this, so that underwater lighting will be all changing colour. Well, these would all be just a deep blue from when the water, but that will all ripple on the ceiling, and the main fountain itself would have the red. It'll be scrolling between the red, ambers, so it'll be all changing. And then we'd have deep blue lights underneath every one of these cascades. So that entire ceiling above the stage, it's almost like the Hollywood Bowl, will all change colour and look fantastic, whether someone's on the stage or not. You can see that the roof line there, same as on the other side. It will look amazing. But yeah, no, the playground was looking a bit too much like a kindergarten, Thomas. It was looking like a government kindergarten where everything's kind of like sparse and you want it looking a bit more for the mums. The mums are going to want to meet there at lunchtime and hang out with their friends, and you want to go there, like on a Saturday morning, you want to go there with the family, mum, dad and the kids. You want the parents to actually enjoy the space rather than just a stark kiddies playground. Or go and have a look at that stuff at New Farm, because you could do some really cool raised stuff mounted onto that pole, so that takes away the danger of these poles. But do a nice mound here, so that's fun to play on, but it's also a place that everyone can sit and look at the stage, etc. G'day Lancinis. Because there's such a big space, I know with some of the play equipment you've had to put a lot of space around it so that kids don't hit their head, etc. But it's a fine line. You've got all these mums here, they've been stuck at kindergartens and all that stuff all day. Now that it's got the fountain, it's going to be a bit of an oasis. You certainly won't need the spring thing, for example. Like here, I was just saying to Ryan about, because you'll have all the beautiful fountain in the background with all the colours dancing on the ceiling. Just build a platform stage out in a shape, and we put LED underneath it so it glows down to the ground. Kids love jumping on stage. Kids love standing up and performing. They will have more fun on a platform than climbing up a thing here. So that can then become your Santa thing. That can become your DJ or someone strutting a guitar on Friday and Saturday nights. So just build that out raised and put an edge on it, put a LED strip underneath it so it glows. We were talking about with Ryan, the water then spilling down into a hole there, and then the water spilling down the other side of the stage. So this is all dancing at night time. Build a mound here that not only can kids play on, people can lie on the mound, a bit like what we did at Eat Street and stuff, so they can look towards the stage, put a pipe through it. You've got all these poles here. Rather than becoming hazards for kids, build a cubby house up on it and run a slippery slide out of it, etc. Take the poles out of the equation of things to hit. Build them as part of the set as such. You could literally build a playground, or even one of those rope bridges that they can climb across. Think New Farm Park, they've got a really good system there which they've built into those trees, so you could literally have it to here, then a slippery slide coming down. So you've got all the space for the kids to play, and there's more things for them to play on, but it's not just a kindergarten. It's got the stage, the cool fountains, all the vines, and the smell of jasmine in the air, etc. It just gives the space. It's more friendly, not just for kids, but also for mums and dads. That's what you want. You've got your light source actually underneath the water, and the water rippling over the top actually breaks it up, so you get these wonderful effects.
Where can you find the latest fashion at no less than 60 fashion stores? The most advanced technology at over 15 stores. And food from around the world at no less than 40 delis and shops. You'll find it all where there's more of everything. Westfield Shopping Town in Indooroopilly, the greatest shopping centre of them all.
G'day, Lane Cities. Thomas, thanks for sending the playground stuff through. I'm just mocking this up on my car bonnet here. It's quite a big space here, and I understand why they've laid it out, because kids hitting poles and all that kind of stuff. Just an idea. Kids have more fun running on stages, etc. Kids love a stage. You'll all get up there and all climb all over it, etc. Rather than having one of those stupid springy things, it's too, like, if that is just all just kid stuff, it just looks like a kindergarten. You want this to be an escape and an oasis for the mums and the dads as well as the kids. So what I was thinking, you literally just have a wooden stage here, a deck, like a curved out stage. You put LED underneath it so it's floating, so that's where you can have all your performance. The kids can run all over it, but the kids can also then stand up and look at the fountain. So that where it's raised now, that's you just have that as a garden bed, and we just have a cascade pouring into a drain there. So there's a waterfall either side of the stage. Build a big mound here. Kids love climbing on mounds, so that's an area that the kids can sit, or adults can even sit and watch the stage. And I was talking about the new farm playground. Building some groovy stuff here that they can climb up into, and slides, do a slide off the back of the mound, because then you can put a fence underneath here. It just stops the kids running out to the car park. So have a garden bed here at this pole. Also bring out a garden bed here where this pole is as well. It means we can grow vines up that pole. And these poles that they're just going to hit their heads on, just make that a garden bed as well, so we can grow vines up there. So this becomes a feature, all the energy flow. This is a raised section where I was talking about putting that round fountain. It looks like a lot of water. It's actually not. So that's just a slithering at the top of those Besser blocks. Now that is 2 more blocks higher with the round feature underneath that lip. It's almost like the place has been designed for the water feature, because it's right in the pinnacle. You can see that water feature. Literally, you can see it in the traffic. You can look straight through there to where that ball is. And keep in mind, we're going to light that water feature, and it will change colors, reds, blues, oranges. Then it'll change all the color of the ceiling. So behind the stage here, up on that ceiling, all the lights and beautiful ripples from underneath that waterfall. And then we just put 3 cascading metal where the water just pours out. And this is the lower pool at the ground level. And then there's just a drain, just one of those large 600 by 600 black drains, because we can do it really cheap, and that's just all plumbed back to there. So that's your feature. That's all the energy flow looking in through the cars. And when you're at McDonald's and stuff, you'll be able to see that water feature. But kids love stages, so I figured you can put all the kids stuff over here, but then you can still have it usable, friendly for adults as well. In that current layout, if you've just got one of those spring things, and the reason why it's in the middle of nowhere, it's so the kids don't hit their heads on anything. So that's just this weird spring. It'll be just too barren. It will look like a Queensland government kind of waiting area for kids. At least then they've a mound they can climb all over. Kids love stages. They'll get up there and all be dancing from. But the main thing, now that you've got a fountain, kids are entranced with water features. Absolutely entranced. So they'll all be standing up here looking at the water feature, and then the water where it's cascading from here down into ground level into the grill. The kids can touch the water there, left and right of stage. So it's a bit of a fun, interactive. G'day, Lancenis. Just on the playground, in New Farm Park, it's really good reference. I would go and shoot it for you, but I've got to jump on a plane. It might be worth going down there and having a look at it. New Farm Park has got this awesome playground. When you drive into New Farm Park, you'll turn left, drive all the way around. It's just before the powerhouse. It's got all this cool, it's really rustic, and you've got to understand it's for the council, so it's insurance friendly. That would work in amongst all those metal poles in there. It would suit the environment, especially with all the tropical stuff we're trying to plant here. But it would certainly suit, and it looks cool for the parents, but the kids just love it. There's like bridges and all that kind of stuff. That's probably a good reference point for a lot of that area. So yeah. Hey, Lancenis, just to save you a fortune in landscaping design, plantings as such. So in here, put the big Monsterios, our elephant ears, and we'll put a rhapis palm there. Also put a rhapis palm right in there so it blocks the view of the toilets. Put more elephant's ears and Monsterios in these garden beds. Same with this one here. Give it that lovely tropical look. I would also put, because that's such a big garden bed, put some crab's claw, ginger, some good tropical plants that fit in with the space. Then put eye bolts, 1.2 meters from the ceiling. Run wires down each side and run jasmine up there, which will grow very quickly. Same with this pole, we've got lights 1.5 meters down, so 1.8, put eye bolts in there, and we can run jasmine up that pole as well. All of those back gardens there, put in the creeping ivy. In fact, all the gardens here, because we want to cover these walls with that green, beautiful lush green ivy, like the reference I sent from the Carlisle, all the way around here. So just put heaps of, and it grows fairly quickly, that ivy. So same in all those garden beds, plant that ivy all the way around here so we can start greening up those walls. But in all these garden beds, put the big elephant ears and Monsterios, just give it that lovely tropical look. And I'd put some gingers in there as well, that or like birds of paradise, some stuff that kind of just flowers all the time and doesn't need a lot of maintenance. Because once those walls are all green, the in-ground lights will be slithering light up on the wall, so we'll be able to light all that ivy. Now, all the vines in here, we've already got the low voltage outlet, so at Christmas time, we can literally just stick multicolored fairy lights in there, but we just switch them off and just turn them back on next year. So all you're literally doing is flicking a switch at Christmas at Christmas time. We can also, on these hero points here, we can literally just put 2 eye bolts on the ceiling there, and then you have the same wreath that you just reinstall, and it just plugs straight into the low voltage outlets. You just wrap it in plastic. First week of January, put it into storage and just bring it out to use the following year. Where the blockwork is with all the woolies and signage and everything like that is here, you just put some low rafus palms, so the restaurant's got something nice to look to. We'll lit that as well, and you can probably just put some of the ficus around there as well. The other palms you want to put like at the entrance and like with the chippies around the corner. You can just put the foxtails, they kind of clean themselves. The palm fronds just fall off, but you're just getting the maintenance here, like what we done down at Anuka. Just go and get a mechanical cutter that goes up and you just cut the palm fronds and the palm seeds off it. So see where that chip is there, just put a palm that will grow through there that looks like that architectural feature is actually made for. And then all these other garden beds you just fill with mini mondo grass, so they look after themselves. And once the mini mondo takes over the whole garden bed, you don't have to worry about weeding or anything like that. And just put a couple of feature palms in the McDonald's car park there. All the planting around the water feature will all just be tropical mondo grass. We don't want to really block that out too much. And just on the back fence, start planting that ficus to start growing, so that fence is all greened out. That'll just stop the vandalism. And where all the big transformers are, just plant bamboo and palms, so that just disappears into the background. The walkway from the Burpengary court, like tennis court, food court, in those garden beds, just put some tall foxtail palm. G'day Lancinis, just pretend this is Burpengary East shopping mall. This is one we prepared earlier. I know we're talking about plants again, but just on your wall, things like bamboo in the back, just clumps of bamboo. See, you've got that neutral fence behind, but it keeps that really tropical, gives that tropical look of the centre. And I'm also just trying to cover up any spaces that are going to be tagged. I've been speaking to mates that are coppers up there, and they said one of the things they'll do is start spraying all over the walls. So that's just an ugly wall with conduit. Weirdly enough, it's the same colour. But if you just put the clumping bamboo, there's particular ones, just ask your greens department, the one that doesn't spread and one that doesn't drop as many leaves, because it grows really quickly as well, and that can kind of cover it up. And I notice you've got more generators and a film crew unit base there as well, so that you could probably just plant some stuff in front of that. It's just a cheap way of making it disappear and also keeping the graffiti out of the place. And then it will zigzag all the festoons all the way through that. They won't be attached to the palms, they'll be attached to the car park poles. I think we may have to just put one other pole in there just to get that classic zigzag look. So it's that great wayfinding from Woolworths, across to the food court.